Egg drop soup. All right, today I am going to be making chicken noodle soup, egg drop soup. So we're gonna call this chicken noodle egg drop soup. Absolute goodness. Right here I have a can of Campbell's 25% less sodium chicken noodle soup. Absolute goodness. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, and then I'm going to pour it inside of the pot right here. All right, so open the can up and pour the chicken noodle soup inside of the pot. So I poured it in here, and then what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna fill this up with 1 cup of water, okay? So I'm gonna fill this up with 1 cup of water, 1 can of water, fill this can all the way up. If it doesn't get all the way in, add a little bit more. We want to have this full. All right, so I'm gonna have this in here, and then I'm gonna pour 1 can of water in there. All right, so I'm gonna bring this to a boil. Absolute goodness. And while that's coming up to a boil, I'm gonna prepare my eggs. So what you're gonna need now is 2 eggs. And what I have here is 2 eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and crack 1. All right, and I'm gonna put that one in there. And then the next one, I'm gonna just need the yolk from out of this one. So separating the yolk, this can be a little bit tricky, but watch me how I do it. All right, so I'm gonna take this, crack it, and I'm going to just put the egg whites into another container right here. Just knock that off, separate the yolk from it. And once I've separated the yolk from it, I'm gonna come back to this bowl right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the yolk to that. Now, once I added the yolk to this, so I have 1 whole egg with an additional yolk, I'm gonna go ahead and mixerate this up like this. Mixerate it up really nicely. All right, now if you want to, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of green onion, because I love adding green onion to my soups. All right, and sometimes people like to add a little bit of spice. I'm not gonna make it spice right now, but sometimes I do. So I have this green onion, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut up a little bit of green onion and put this in to the mix. Now I like this. Some people just like chicken noodle soup. Some people just like egg drop soup. But this is the best of both worlds that I'm bringing to you. So I'm gonna cut this up nicely, like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and beat this up a little bit more and let this sit, all right? And so meanwhile, we're gonna wait for this to boil. Absolute goodness. All right, once it comes to the boil, I'm gonna take the egg mixture that I have right here, and I'm gonna slowly pour it inside of here while I'm spinning the water. All right, so slowly pour it in here, like this. Look at that. Look at the green onion. Absolute goodness. So pour it in there, and then you're gonna immediately want to turn off the heat, stir it a little bit, turn the heat off, and remove it from the heat, because the heat that's still inside of the pan will cook the rest of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this, and I'm gonna place a mat down, and I'm gonna place the pot over here because it doesn't need to cook anymore. Now look at this. I'm gonna get a bowl, and I'm gonna get a spoon for this, because this is gonna be really good. I'm gonna go ahead and spoon some of this up. Look at this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and spoon some of it up. Actually, I'm gonna pour it because that'll be, look at that. Look at that. Chicken noodle egg drop soup. Absolute goodness, if you ask me. Absolute goodness.